Hey Boo, it's Natalie Bardo, and I'm here to give you a sneak peek of the Slay Your Goals Planner. So it's a 60 plus page printable that is now also form fillable, which means you can use it on your mobile device or fill it out on your computer. So here we go. On the first page here, you just have a nice message from me. I also have an interactive table of contents, so you're able to check off every page as you go and use it to jump around the planner without flipping through every single page. Here is just a lovely flow chart. I'm showing you how by completing every one of these tasks, it all flows together. So from your intention all the way down to the specific to-dos you're going to do every week. So here's a sneak peek of Chapter 1, Set Your Intention. So on this worksheet, we're going to answer these prompts, and it's going to lead you to figure out what exactly are you trying to, reach in your life. What is that feeling you're chasing, whether it's success, relief, or those feelings of achievement? This is where we pinpoint that. You're also going to consider, where you want to be in a few years. And on this one, we're going to reflect on the 10 areas of your life. And if you click here, it's actually going to take you to an awesome quiz that you can do online, and it's going to help you figure out what of the 10 areas of your life you should focus on. So that's right here. You can link right to it. On this page is just another example of how you can figure out what your intention is, what are the different areas of your life that it encompasses, because no matter what we're trying to achieve, it definitely touches multiple areas of our life. And on this final page, you're going to write a letter of intention to yourself. So basically, you're just telling your future self, why is this so important and how you're going to commit everything you have to achieving it. On to Chapter 2, Choose Your Number One Goal. So each of these worksheets is all about figuring out what is that number one goal you're going to achieve this year. So we're going to go goal digging. Then we're going to take our intention from Chapter 1 and we're going to investigate it. We're going to ask who, what, where, when, why, how, because by asking these questions, we're able to then figure out specific goals. Another way to think of our intention is as this beautiful prism or jewel that we're trying to achieve. And by thinking about it or changing how we look at it in the light, we can see, maybe this hidden aspect of it will help me achieve this goal. And we can also brainstorm with this mind map on this page. And the intention triangle, I know for myself when I had an intention in mind, it was this big, grandiose idea. But by leaning down and cutting away all of the excessive fluff and just, we tend to elaborate. We're able to get to the core of what that specific goal is. And over here, once we have our number one goal, we're going to check to make sure it's SMART. And then we're going to make sure it's also right. And right goals is all about getting back to those feelings and the heart of our goals that we had right back on page 1 in Chapter 1. And at the end of it, we're going to have a goal that is not only possible, we're committed to it, and we've thought it through, therefore making it easier to achieve. Moving on to Chapter 3, we're going to break down our number one goal into mini goals, and these mini goals are going to be assigned to each quarter of the year. So similar to how we got our number one goal, we're going to break down our goal into figuring out the who, the what, the where, the why, and the how. We're also going to do a quick SWOT analysis to figure out, what are our strengths and our weaknesses? Where do we need help? And, how do we excel? By asking ourselves these questions, we're able to figure out what are some of these mini goals that we can focus on. And, we always love a great mind map. So you're able to plug in your number one goal and you can, think it out, or even think of like these little tasks that you need to do and then connecting them back to your main goal. And once again, this is entirely form fillable. So you don't need to print every page. You can just start typing on your computer or even on your phone. Just make sure you save it so you have all your changes. So once we have our 4 mini goals, we're going to plug them into here and we're going to assign one to every quarter of the year. So first quarter, second quarter, third, and obviously the fourth. Moving on to Chapter 4, this is where we start planning. So I love this one pager because it gets your mind thinking, where do I want to be 1 year from now? So, like right now, spring is starting and I'm thinking, okay, 1 year from now, I want to be like on that trip, or to be, at this certain position with my business. So you're able to think about it and then step backwards 6 months, 3 months. And then what about tomorrow? Do you just want to feel more confident tomorrow? Because that's totally doable. You have some printable calendars, or once again, just viewable for this year and next year. Another one the other way, some of us like horizontal or vertical. A couple of blank calendars that you can fill in the blank to plan your goals. This one, because you know what? Sometimes it's April, May, and you don't want one that starts in January, so you can fill in all the months here for the next 12. Same thing with this one. So this strategic planning roadmap is a great way to think about, how do I get from where I am right now to where I want to be? So we can plug in your first quarterly goal, and it's almost like a little game. You're going to figure out what your first step is, and that's for this month and then next month. And you're able to get right to the end of the quarter, and this is a great way for you to reflect. You can say, what were my obstacles? How did I overcome it? And you can use this to plan ahead, or have it with you to track your progress for the whole month out of the year. And that's how we end this chapter. So moving on to chapter 5, crush your to-dos. This one is all about getting those tiny tasks that we're going to go from our quarterly to our monthly goals into specific tasks, and we're going to lay them out. Some months have 4 weeks, others have 5. So you have options. I designed 3 different types of templates that you can choose from for breaking down your month, because you know what? We love options, right? This is for determining, what is important, and you can rank not so important, sorta, or super, and you're able to click on these when you have it open up in your Adobe Acrobat. This is another way of figuring out what your priorities are. We can write down all our to-dos here, and once again, these check marks all work when you have it up in Acrobat. Some blank calendars, because you know what, sometimes we just want space to brainstorm, and you can never have enough space to figure it out. I got some weekly planner pages for you that you can completely fill in, and they're good for any week of the year. So more options for you. And then also daily ones. Some people are night owls, others are early birds. So the early birds, starts at 5 a.m. The night owl, you're up at 11, and it has time for everything to fill in. And some daily reflection pages if you choose to. These are the only printable pages, so you can't fill them in, but you can definitely print them and use them. And finally, this is the last chapter, reviewing, something a lot of us completely forget about. So this is a quick 1-page review for the month. And here are some goal trackers. So like I said, 5 weeks or 4 weeks, you can track how you're doing and just do some reflection. What worked, what didn't work? We need to ask ourselves these questions, because if we know what works, we can do more of that, and we can do less of what doesn't. And we have a really thorough end of the month review. You can ask yourself these 10 questions. This could be something you do with your accountability partner. It's a really great way to figure out where you are and how you're going to improve on this next month. So once you get to the end of the month, you flip back and you start all over with chapter 5, figuring out your new to-dos. Say it's the end of the year, we also have a 1-page year in review planner. So that is the printable Slay Your Goals planner. It has so many amazing worksheets that is going to help you get from what's in your head to taking action, because I know we can overthink and get overwhelmed. This planner is all about the how can I take action, and getting you that simple plan that you can do easily. So that's it. I'm Natalie Bardo, and I hope you're enjoying the Slay Your Goals planner.